I'm James Nicolau. I'm a project manager from San Diego and I work for Psomas. We kind of thrive on going after the challenging projects. We don't do a lot of straightforward things. Most of the stuff that we do get involved with is very large scale, very complex. We did the Coast Corridor survey for the city of Carlsbad here in San Diego. Now, on that project, we used airborne LiDAR, we used aerial photogrammetry, we had mobile LiDAR, we had terrestrial scanning. For something like that, that's where TBC really shines, because we were able to bring in the soft copy photogrammetry data. We were able to bring in all three different types of LiDAR, both airborne, mobile, and terrestrial, and merge and fact check and QA/QC all of that data against the digital level runs that were brought in. And then ultimately the project was hung on the cadastral survey ties that were done conventionally and with GPS. On a project like that, we obviously didn't perform all of those services all at the same time. So that was where TBC was able to help us never lose track of the data. We always knew where we left off because we had one repository that all of the data came in its raw form, it was processed and it was adjusted in the same place. We even imported the PDFs, bound them to the survey points of the surveyed field notes. That way you knew exactly what was done, when it was done, who did it. You could look at the quality for each of those. A lot of times when you come back and revisit a project a year later, you're uncertain of the quality of a control point. Was it spun out for a topo? Was it spun out for a control? Is it maybe a horizontal, vertical control point for the aerial? Having TBC be that main data repository allows you to look and actually drill into it quickly. Through the point derivations tool, you can go visually see that, okay, this is what the level of that control was. So you're always able to maintain that confidence that what you're continuing on is correct. And we also used TBC to handle all of the data extraction, reduction, and processing. We were able to make a single FXL file that had all of the correct feature code descriptions, layering, point symbology, plotting styles that was concurrent throughout the whole project. It's important to note that not all Trimble products were used to generate everything. In fact, on that project, it was really only the GPS and cadastral ties. We used Leica digital levels, we used Leica scanners, we had the Optec mobile scanning system, we had the airborne system, and all of those produce their own proprietary data sets. That's where TBC comes in as a very helpful tool because you're able to bring all of those together. So it makes back checking and rechecking and performing your QA/QC on the fly even more powerful than it would be if you were having to process your GPS vectors, bring them into another program, then export those points out so you can check quality of your mobile scan data in yet another program, and then once you verified that, you could merge the static, and having one place to do that dramatically cuts down on the time that you're spending doing processing and QA/QC of the data. Through TBC, we were able to do all of the surface creation, line type creation, symbology, and get all the planimetrics set. All of your layering is already correct, your symbols are there, your annotations set, your line type scales are proper, and you have your surface and it's ready to be worked with. And basically all that Civil 3D is used for at that point is just your final labeling and building sheets.